Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Let's talk about WoW. I'm Slidewhistle!
I am Immunization.
And I'm Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. I am recording from Cubbybub's ancestral home's basement, and I don't have a chair, so I'm looking up at my mic. It's very interesting. It's very different than what I usually do.
The best way to play 9.1 is on the floor, like Aaron's doing right now.
Pretty much. Just put your laptop on the floor. Hell, put your whole big PC on the floor and just arc your back like a little creature.
Like a little Corthian grommet would.
Bend it like Beckham. Okay, there's so many grommets in fucking Shadowlands now. In Korthia, it's ridiculous. I've seen like a billion.
It's hard.
I didn't realize.
It's hard to chase them down and kiss them all.
Yeah, I know. And like so many different types that you can kiss. How many would you guys say that we've been encountered so far? I'd say there's at least 4 or 5 different types of grommets that I've seen. I thought it was just gonna be in general, all of them are just Corthian grommet.
Have you purchased the grommet that can help you find relics and treasures yet? Because there's one that does that.
I have not. I didn't know if he was useful.
I also didn't know if he was useful. There's a grommet in a cage, and you can use him, and he can smell out relics for you. But most importantly, you can pet him, and when you pet him, he gains the title Good Boy.
Honestly,
Aww.
I love that for us and for him, and yeah, for 9.1.
Apparently, someone said you can pet him and get Bestest Boy, and I'm like, I gotta pet mine more. I'm gonna pet him nice and hard.
But I don't know. Do you guys think we just dive right on in and discuss our first reactions to when we first logged in to this new patch?
Yeah.
Might as well.
This bitch threw us into shit immediately. Well, the first thing we did was the battle, right? Was the big battle? This is gonna be spoilers. Obviously, if you haven't played it, I don't know what you're doing, but
well, yeah.
No, so when you first log in, you basically get a quest to talk to Bolvar in Oribos, and basically you are thrown right into the cinematic where you learn that the Archon has been stabbed by Anduin, and you get that cutscene again.
And then they go up to near the Archon, and they have a Jedi Council meeting where it's just he took my circle, my sigil, and he's gonna take yours. And the Winter Queen's I bet you he'll try and take mine.
Yeah, because at this point, that's the only one that is around that people have a concept of where it currently is. So she's like, I'm up next. We need to defend Ardenweald. So then basically you just immediately prepare to defend Ardenweald, because at that point, both Oribos and Ardenweald are being invaded by the Jailer's forces, correct?
Mm-hmm. And a big part of this preparation is they're going to do the old switch 'em up. They're going to use fairy magic. This is all the fae creatures of the Ardenweald, to make them all look like the Night Queen, which I don't mean to poo-poo their plan, but as they're all pulling out, Lady Moonberry's the Winter Queen's going to stay in the same place she's always been. So it's shouldn't we move her? I feel
Also, maybe we shouldn't be saying that plan out loud as we're flying through all of the Mossworn forces as well.
A single one with their head cocked to the sky is oh, that's what they're doing.
She must have recently watched Star Wars and gotten advice from Padme. Queen Amidala, because that was a real Queen Amidala. Bitch, you will die. And you will be a decoy, so good luck out there defending yourself.
Hopefully you're important enough here to get your role in Pirates of the Caribbean, because you're not getting any more screen time in this film.
And I like that, Moonberry made it very known that, yes, these are all volunteers that are willing to die.
Well, the Winter Queen giveth and the Winter Queen taketh away. But I did a great deed for those noble souls, and I documented the names of the 2 fairies we saw shot down in action.
And one of them, I'm pretty sure was shot in a cutscene. That was major. I was oh no, that arrow is 3 times bigger than you, sir or madam.
Right? Everyone please bow your heads and pay respect to Sparkle Puff and Glitter Mint. Glitter Mint.
Fucking Glitter Mint. Sparkle Puff was the one that got speared by the arrow, right?
Yeah, the one that died in the in-game cutscene, which also I will just say, like, some of these in-game cutscenes were, like, a great addition. Like, I was just so glad that, like, we didn't know what they were going to be, I guess. So, like, this whole battle felt, like, I had a vague idea what was going to happen, but, like, it was just nice to have new content, and I was excited, and I didn't 100% know what was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to be presented in this way. Like, I don't really 100% know that, like, Sylvanas is such a big part of the storyline either.
Yeah, she was just there. She was leading the whole army, just flying around as a banshee, taking people out.
I was getting so mad that Sylvanas was in my fucking grove where I live, and I couldn't do a goddamn thing to stop her. I was worried that she was gonna burn down like the Covenant tree.
You know she wanted to. She's like, the bitches online will love this one.
I'm going to play the hits again. Loyalist Leader 68 on Twitter will be writing about this one for weeks.
Also, something I really liked about the whole battle for Ardenweald was they really, like, immediately on this patch were like, all of the Covenants are restored. All of the Covenants are best friends now. All of the Covenants are working together to take out the Jailer and Sylvanas and the Mossworn forces. And it was just really cool that in this battle, like, all of the different Covenants, like, soulbinds and main characters were, like, fighting side by side. Like, there's some cool interactions, like, we never would have thought to see, like, Clea and, what's Slime Boy's name again in Maldraxxus?
Plague Bringer, like Drellith or something. We're best friends at the Ember Court. So I feel bad that I don't remember his name.
Yeah, what the hell? You're serving this man food and drinks and you don't know what his name is?
He got a little too clingy. So he hasn't come to a party recently. He was like the first guy I became best friends with, and I was like, I gotta bring you back, bud.
You should have brought more slimes.
That was, and I know it's just the way he sounds, but it's like a very serious thing. They're flying around. Then you get on his skeleton dragon. He goes, I brought slimes. Have a slime. Here's a slime. Slime time live. And I was like, this is a little silly.
I mean, when he first flew in, he said he wishes that there could be more slimes in this place, and he did say that he could fix it, and then he did. So
got a sneeze coming. I was gonna talk. Oh, there it is. There's my slime, homies.
He brought some slime.
Man, I also really love. So you were saying how all the Covenants were like united and shit. At that one scene when they all went from Ouroboros through the portal, and like literally like a million dudes were lined up pouring into the portal.
That was after this, though, I think, because that was like going into Korthia, I think.
Was it?
Yes.
Man, I mean, I guess I did this both on 2 characters. Spoiler. So, like, I guess I've just seen it so many times that I'm gonna get it out of order now. Whoops.
But the big...
That was cool, though.
Yes, that was very cool. And I do like that they charged because you inspired them twice. I don't know why they didn't have your your cheer go for longer, but your character's like, charge! Charge! And they're like, okay, we'll go on the second one. But going back to the Battle of Ardenweald, which I am glad we were able to go through, I saw that red shirt guy was having troubles with it, and I was like, maybe if you believe in the product a little bit more, it'll work better for you.
Yeah, I luckily didn't have any problems with the Battle of Ardenweald, but I did have problems during the Venari questline later on, which I'll talk about when we get there. It's really annoying.
Yes, the big moment of the Battle of Ardenweald is Sylvanas opens up a huge portal to the Maw, and there's a big skeleton who's going to come through and punch everyone. But what's that?
Yeah, he's kind of like Terragru-esque, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's those big guys that are walking around that had like 300k health, and it's like, well, you can't take these guys down. But I know someone who could, and her name is Tyrande Whisperwind.
Yeah, so thus begins a really, really badass cutscene. Honestly, I think this is my favorite cutscene that's been like thrown into the game, I guess, maybe like since we've been playing. Like, honestly.
There were so many fucking iconic lines in there. Like when she said, I'll take your head like I took your boyfriend's, or whatever she called them.
Well, she just said his.
Yeah, and then Sylvanas is like, Nathanos, and it's beautiful.
It was like a cut.
Because she was like, you didn't know. And I was cackling in my seat.
I love the Sylvanas reaction, too. It was like... Because she like whispered it and she like turned to the camera. I'm like, is this an aside happening? Like, is like breaking the fourth wall?
but like, and then she was like, "Your master didn't tell you, like your master, like get her, bitch, get her."
It also showed that I guess Sylvanas does care about Nathanos.
Which is such a absolute bummer. I just
Yeah,
want
what
her
the
to
hell?
be this purely evil person, but it'll be like, I loved him, even though she clearly didn't.
Or maybe she's just sad that like it's like losing your. It'd be like if you lost your soul bind, like when they nerf your soul bind, and then
Yeah.
you're like, oh no, do I need to switch covenants?
I mean, she's gonna summon him as like a Death Knight +1 guy, and she's like, I would have done that a month ago if I knew he was dead.
She was like, "Oh no, my best friend," and from the grave you hear him go, "Best friend, no."
My close
Friend-zoned.
buddy. Like really close, right? Don't push it, Nathanos.
It's also interesting though because that's the first time we've heard about him at all since this expansion started. We've mentioned it a few times. We're like, well, where is he? Like, I don't know. So I guess that means that Sylvanas doesn't even know.
Yeah, like what was her? Was she just gonna be like, I'm sure he's doing great up there. I'm sure he's having a real hoot. He'll check in soon.
So he's like dead, right? Is he dead?
Oh yeah, he's like trying to like straight up murder him. But I think her line also implied that like the jailer probably knows that he's dead, but never told Sylvanas. And I don't know what that means about where he is. He's probably just thrown into the mall like everyone else. So he's probably just wandering through the mall, trapped somewhere.
Okay, that's why I was like, why do I recall this being open-ended, right? Because the mall exists and his soul goes somewhere. Got it. But yeah, so the fight was really weird because Tyranda's cutting her up, Sylvanas is hitting her back, and then at the end, fucking Tyranda flies. Because Sylvanas like, I'm gonna Banshee fly away, and Tyranda's like, Elune, let me fly, and that bitch fucking flew.
She basically was like, Elune, it's time. Make me a kamikaze missile to take her out, but I'll kill myself if I can take her out with me.
And I absolutely love that when she caught Sylvanas, she was like, I will now kill you. And she, okay, I was watching Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone earlier today, and Professor Quirrell, with Voldemort on the back of his head, says, I will kill you now, Harry Potter. And this fucking wizard decides he's gonna choke him with his hand. And Tyrande did that exactly, where she choked Sylvanas with 2 hands. And I'm like, bitch, stab her. Use some moon power. Why are you going for the choke? I know it's probably more satisfying that way, but like, you quickly, you're running out of time.
Well, yeah, and it was to her detriment because blades can't falter out like her hands did, because all of a sudden Sylvanas starts breaking the hold and she's like, Elune is leaving you, isn't she? For some particular reason.
Like, I'm sure that will be explained to us later, but basically it seemed like the Night Warrior pact is just over now, because then, like, Tyrande is like, I'm fading now, and then Ysera had to come and, like, save her. Like, we'll make sure that she was okay.
Why did the gay deer explode, but Tyrande just gets to have a timer? They're like, I find this a little unfortunate.
I don't think that she lost the Night Warrior status, because we still have yet to do the ritual with the Night Warriors to pull the power out of her.
Do you think
yeah, 'cause that's,
Elune
like,
heard
to come, right?
us like an episode ago when she was supposed to be this bastion of peace and hate violence, and she's like, oh dang, I gotta catch up with that. Stop strangling her, please.
Please let her go. But I don't think that it was the Night Warrior being over. So that only leaves a couple of possibilities left. Possibility 1 is that Elune can only give you a limited amount of like power juice like that at a time, because Sylvanas is so yoked that it's like God versus God, basically. Or the alternative, which I don't like, is that Elune is like, we need Sylvanas to live for a purpose later, because the purpose serves all, or some shit like that. And it's like, don't kill her yet.
That's kind of the vibe I was sadly getting, because Sylvanas had a line too where it's like, your precious Elune steals a victory from you once again, or something like that. So I think it is basically Elune be like, no, you don't need to kill her.
Yeah,
which is weird. I'm like, well, why?
I think it's paying homage or reflecting on the fact that Elune is this powerful person who can do a bunch of stuff. But when I forgot what her name was, forget always. But the night elf person was like, please, Elune, save me from becoming a undead. And Elune was like, nah, you good. This is for your better.
What is her name? So important. Delarin something?
Something like that. But I think when she's like, steals another victory from you, it's in reference to like, yeah, Elune is always watching, but clearly is trying to stay neutral.
Remember, guys, Elune doesn't pick fights. Elune does not like violence. So she was like, no, don't choke her. Take her to court and sue her for all she's worth. No violence.
Oh my god. I'm just like picturing like Elune as like Judge Judy now instead.
sorry, Mr. Elune. It's Judge Elune to you.
That's Miss Toller. But the part that made me the most upset, so all this happened, right? Sylvanas escapes once a fucking... This is literally the 9th time she's escaped, like, justice. Is it a smash cut to Anduin inside the Covenant?
No, you have to go on the most deadly path in all of 9.1 to get there.
Oh, the like escort?
The long road.
War mode.
If you're on war mode, all of a sudden after the Tyrande cutscene, you take 2 steps away to go talk to like a Tiernan that brings you to the other cutscene. But when I stepped out, 17 Horde were there just killing everyone.
Yeah, okay, I fucking remember now. There were people literally just doing nothing but camping the next quest. There were flares up. There were AoEing spells to catch anybody invisible. It is like, if you were to somehow get there, you had a mini cutscene. So as you come out of the cutscene, you're gonna die like immediately.
Yeah, like I knew some stupid bullshit like this is gonna happen, so I have been in war mode off since the beginning so far of 9.1. I'll turn it on back on eventually, but yeah, I didn't want to have to deal with that kind of shit. And like I saw like on slide screen that like, yeah, there were like 45 Horde camping that area, and I'm like, guys, get a life.
You know what? If I had to guess though, I would be willing to bet money that Alliance did it first and then they got outcamped, because these Horde had such intentions. Like they decided they were going to plant their feet and not continue getting the story of 9.1. They said, we're going to kill everybody who comes here. And that normally happens when we camp the fucking cave in the maw and they react like that. But yeah, so I too turned it off. I've had it on in Korthia though, and it's been fine.
Yeah, but anyways, it was established at the end of that cutscene with the battle between Tyrande and Sylvanas that, like, basically everything Sylvanas was doing in this battle was kind of a distraction. And then you later find out that Anduin had actually used all of this to just, like, sneak into the heart of the forest and take the fucking sigil, which was just sitting out in the middle.
Okay, so when I saw the cinematic, it wasn't cinematic, it was like an in-game cutscene of them cutting to Anduin inside the heart of the forest in Ardenweald, why was my first reaction, oh my god, no, he's gonna kill Daddy Mushroom. Marasmius, get out of there.
You know, there are some things that are
safe.
important here. Like, some things that are just eternal, and that is Marasmius. Like, if we lost him, all hope would be gone. But, you know, the sigil, like, that's fine.
But, like, so Anduin put up this barrier, or I guess the Maul did, whatever, so nobody can get in to the heart of the forest. And we're watching Anduin steal the tiny little badge from the roots of the forest or whatever. And I'm literally like, guys, please, just let me Hearthstone. If I was to Hearthstone, I would be inside. I would be right there.
Next to him.
And they wouldn't let me Hearthstone. I'm like, let me get in there. Bullshit.
He would have just nuked you, though, honestly.
Okay.
Which, by the way, that was another thing. They were there earlier when they were like, get ready to fight Sylvanas. I drank some potions. I got big. I turned combustion on. I threw one fireball instantly at 1%. I was like, oh, they don't even pretend to allow you to fight her.
I did the same fucking thing. I literally ate food. I went invisible. I hit all my cooldowns, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill this bitch. And like literally one hit, dink. I bubbled with the power of death. And I'm like, you're not even a paladin. How'd you do that? I guess she turtled, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, I took the other strat. I'm like, I'm just gonna throw, like, my measly, like, Shadow Word Pain dot on her and see what happens. And then, like, the second, like, my finger is, like, almost done pressing it, then I'm like, oh.
Oof.
Also, wait, that's another in-game cutscene that, like, I feel like we need to talk about, because I'm like, immediately Clea has to come over and save you because Sylvanas is doing like this huge AoE like nuke bomb to like kill everything, and then it like hits Hearn and Naya, and I'm like, shit, did Slide's like soulbinds just die?
I forgot about that. Yeah, she literally blasted Hermes and Naya and Ooh, the young goat boy whose name I'll never remember, but he's also a soulblind. And I was like, no, Hermes. Hermes isn't even a soulblind. The fucking guy with the eye patch, like the big goat dude. And I was like, he's dead. He's fucking dead.
He's not a soul he's not a what's it called, soulblind, but he is someone you can invite to the Ember Court. I was like, no, I never became best friends with him.
I love Hermes, honestly. He's a fucking goat. He's the goat and a goat.
Yeah, I always thought he was cool. He's like the leader of that other faction that I have no rep with, right?
He's the one who has cemented in my brain for Queen and Grove. He says it's so fucking good.
He also said it during that fight with Sylvanas, of course.
He says it all the time, but like that time it meant the most to me. Can we please, Glittermint needs a statue in Ardenweald. Okay, Glittermint did their goddamn best out there.
Yeah, I mean, she literally died for Queen and Grove.
Okay, so what happens after Anduin steals the sigil? Because again, I've done this twice now, and my brain is just scrambled with the order of things that have happened.
I believe then you go back to Oribos to regroup, and then Bolvar and Draka are there. And, well, first off, I want to just mention, when you get back, you notice that, like, Oribos has also been ravaged by the Maw forces. And I don't know about you guys, but, like, has anyone mentioned the fact that there's just, like, ice crystals that, like, assumedly are from Jaina on the second floor by the flight path, but like I don't see Jaina around doing anything, so I'm like, what's happening here?
Yeah, have I like not finished a quest line? Because there's a portal in it's not the basement, it's the upstairs of Oribos. But I was in the portal room in Oribos, and there's those little icicle poops. Oh, I say little, but they're frozen moss-worn men. But out of a portal, there's a portal that has like snowflakes and like breezy winds coming out of it. And I'm like, when did I close my eyes and miss like an entire cutscene? Was something not shown to me? Because how is she freezing dudes? And again, yeah, like you said, she's not there at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's an aside. Then basically you talk with Bolvar and Draka, and they're like, we need to retaliate. We need to basically find a way to the jailer and his forces and like bring the fight to him in retaliation. But to do that, you need to have basically open a way for the people to go from Oribos to the Maw, in particular Korthia, because I guess everyone knows now that the jailer has also like yanked this thing out of existence and like attached it to the Maw in chains.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. We don't explicitly see the jailer pulling Korthia down to the Maw, right? Or do we?
We do. Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the cinematic with you see, when the Archon is stabbed.
Yeah, you see his big chains, and then later, when you're tracking the eyeball, it goes up the big chains.
Okay, that makes sense, because I did skip the I've been stabbed in the boob cutscenes. That's probably why I missed it then, because I've like already seen this before.
Yeah, so then basically the Hand of the Arbiter was like, yeah, you should go there since you're the Maw Walker. You need to go in there and find a way to open up some kind of portal so that we can all go in and bring the fight to the jailer. So then, it's like, oh, well, we need to go see Venari because Venari knows everything and she can help us find a way to do this. So we go down there and we work with her, basically, to learn that there is a second waystone that we need to open up and attune to Oribos.
Yeah, and long story short, this bitch makes us steal things and being like, we need these for later. Grab this big sack and bring it on over. And I'm like, what? What is this big sack? What am I stealing? And she's literally a thief. She's such a... What is her motive other than get secrets? Is that it? Get secrets?
I think, yeah, just be like an information broker. Just be the person who knows the most.
Yeah, I think that's just in general the vibe of the brokers, but her in particular. And she makes it very clear. Because like she's like, the only reason I'm doing this, she says, is that like, it's beneficial to me and I gain things out of it. She's like, I guess it's good for you too, but like in particular me.
But that quest to go and like check out what's going on with Korthia with her was bugged for so many people. You would go like do it, you'd overhear a conversation, she would say a line and then stop walking. And like, it happened to me, it happened to Immune, it happened to Adorno. I saw people just sitting around like, what happens next? And the only way to advance it and try again is to kill yourself. So I would see people be like, wish me luck, and they'd run, get instantly blown up by like the level 6 or 7 eyeball, and then I'd see them walk back and they'd be like, it didn't work.
Yeah, so you have like a stealth, like escort, follow Venari quest, yeah, and you basically need to find a way into Korthia, because like there's like a giant maw field surrounding it, and the huge eye of the jailer is also like trying to like bust it down. And I don't know, there is this particular cutscene like after you're done following Venari, or like halfway through the escort quest, where it shows the eye flying down and like zapping the like big shield. And for me, and I think it was also common for a lot of other people, that cutscene just crashed my game. And then, you know, I disconnected. So by the time I reconnected, like I guess it just dropped me off where I was, and I was being killed by mobs, and then I died. I had to basically like just like abandon the quest and like start it again. I had to do that a few times, and I don't know. I mean, like day one bug things. Like it's whatever now. The game feels stable now at least, so that's fine.
Let me just say, that quest for me, I followed Venari and finished it. Not a single bug was had on my end, and I was like, what's everyone talking about? This game is great.
I will say, though, kind of proud that, like, they got the patch out at least an hour early, right?
Oh my god, Vanderlyle and Ash, they made a bet, like a 10k gold bet, that the patch was going to be up before 2 hours. Was Vanderlyle's side of it?
I think like the betting odds were like that it would at least take 2 hours or 3 hours past the time that they posted it for, and then it ended up being an hour early.
It was buggy, but not for me, so who cares?
I mean, honestly, we've seen buggier launches. I'm not really that mad.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot worse. Korthia is so interesting because all that I've heard is that it's very Maw-esque. I don't really get that vibe at all from Korthia.
I mean, besides the fact that it is literally in the maw, like, and if you're on the edge of it, like, you could see, like, the souls that you need to collect for your weekly on the map. I was like, oh, yeah, we are in the maw.
Yeah, and you can accidentally physically walk there.
Yeah, that's what's so weird, is that you can walk there, but it's got, like, fauna, it's got flora, it's not just bricks and, like, random fires everywhere. It seems like a very cool, old, ancient zone that I'm vibing with right now.
Yeah, I'm also vibing with it. It's basically better Maw, and it also is accompanied by the fact that we can mount now.
Yes.
Which I guess we can touch on that like, you follow Venari into past, like, the Eye of the Jailers, like, you sneak past, and then you get in there, and then, like, the leader of, the Korthia people, I have not committed his name to memory yet, but he's basically called the Keeper of Secrets or something like that, and you basically introduce yourself to him, and then, this was the second time during this patch so far when like one of the like Hands of the Arbiter or whatever they're called like asks to examine your anima, and I'm like, I feel very violated by this.
It'd be one thing if they like just looked at it or like scanned you. They pick you up and like make you limp with a laser beam, and then this guy's like, oh, such delicious anima, and it's up to Venari to be like, please let them go.
I need him to make my deals.
She's like, I need this player character alive to carry my satchel out of here so that technically I'm not the one that just smash and grab this cave.
Smash and grab.
You do not understand. First I snatch it up, then I smash it up.
Yo, got any Reese's?
The head of the scientist is like, Venari is like, tell the Maw Walker what you are dressed as, a marine biologist.
And then like one of the Gromans is like, hoorah.
Hoorah.
And you know what? It sounds like Slide's over there with the rice and gravy shits. So we're gonna head on into it. Growl on the prowl. Greetings to all you wonderful people.
Growlina here, coming to you live from the plains of Korthia. Now, Yugal, I won't distract you for long, because it's a big, wild world out there. But let me just ask, what sort of secrets do you think are in these rocks and pamphlets we're picking up?
Well, I think the game says it's secrets to beat the jailer, or his battle plans or something.
Sure, that's what they say on the surface level. But what spicy deets do you think are also in there?
Ooh, you're right. I'm sure there's something embarrassing in there for him too, LOL.
Like a video of him bombing at the high school talent show.
Or a cringy love letter he accidentally sent to someone, LOL.
Gosh, oh golly, these ladies can only hope. Well, I hope your efforts dig up something useful, huge. And Godspeed as you go into 9.1. Until next we meet, audience, it's been Growlina.
Boy, oh boy. I was playing some Sega All-Stars Racing earlier, and I hope I get to hear about one of my favorite competitors.
Are we talking Danica Patrick Unlocked?
With Wreck-It Ralph and Banjo-Kazooie, nuts and
Oh, I
bolts.
thought it was I and the new Super Monkey Ball 20-year anniversary game coming out.
It's brand new, and by brand new, I mean it's the old one, but they were good, so please buy it.
Hey, did you guys buy Mario Golf? Because I'm thinking about it.
Cubby
But,
Bub
I don't
did.
Is it fun? I've watched the trailer, and it's very obvious nobody at Nintendo has ever played golf before. So I'm like, is this a golf game or no?
I mean, honestly, I'd prefer it that way because I don't want a golf game.
I can say, having watched her play one night, it seems simplistic, which is fun. That's what I'd want in golf.
Okay,
I don't
good.
want a bunch of. I guess she's right here. Cubby Bub, what is a brief based on Super Shot Golf? What would you say it's like?
I mean, it's like Wii Sports Golf, but a little bit more colorful, bright, and you hear a lot of Toad going, "Yeehaw! Yeah!"
That's perfect. That's all I need in my life.
And there you have it. It's bright, it's colorful, and you hear Toad go, "Yeah!"
Yeah. Okay, but Toad, take us to Korthia, because that's where we are at now, bitches.
Okay, hop in my little car. Beep beep.
Broom, broom.
We're here. Get out.
Okay, so we're in Korthia. Korthia is interesting. We talked about it a little bit before already. Okay, so these professor people, the archivists, does anyone know any of their names, first off? Because I sure fucking don't.
Well, I know.
I'm
I
so
know
bad
that
at
they're
all of their
all
names.
Tor. I believe they are. It's either Soul or Tor. They are all of the clan Tor, because that does come up later. But they all have fantasy names for their suffixes, and I don't know who they are or what they are. I just know they are on Korthia, studying Korthia.
They also have established that they also used to, maybe still did, have a connection to the Arbiter, because they reference her as well as their leader, which is interesting, because does that just mean that this Korthia zone was just hidden away from everyone, but they also reported to the Arbiter still in some way? Either way, it's called the City of Secrets. They seem very keen on collecting knowledge and archives. It seems to me that the jailer or other invaders recently had destroyed the place, and it just looks wrecked now. And I assume before it was invaded, it probably looked similar to Oribos.
Yeah, has it been established who destroyed Korthia?
No, because the jailer's forces, it's implied that this is their first invasion. He just found it, chained it down, and they're sending people there. So it's almost like the people that came before wrecked it.
Yeah, it seemed, I agree with you. I feel like it seemed to me that it was already in despair when the jailer pulled it into the maw.
So Korthia did exist in the in-between, hidden, but isn't that also where the animal people, the animal monsters come from?
The Devourers.
Yeah, Devourers. And those gross alien body people.
So that's a hot new model. By hot, I mean terrifying. Like I don't know what to call them really, but like they have a name, but like I don't like to think about them too much yet.
They're like baby alien. They're like baby bodies with big alien heads, and it's just disgusting. I think
It's a real
destroyed
Gygus
Corthia.
looking motherfucker.
The fetus.
You got to pray on him 9 times.
Do a Paula. But Corthia's interesting. I like it so far. There's a lot, much as the nickname, the City of Secrets, suggests. There's a lot of hidden shit everywhere. I thought I was done for the week with Corthia. I don't know why I thought that. And I was running around on my druid like, oh, what is this extra quest here? What is this relic hiding here? What is in this cave? There's so much stuff hidden away that you have to seek out to find.
I don't know if it's just because I have done like a shit job of like looking up guides on how to prepare and what I needed to do like on the initial days, but I'm also like a little unsure about like what I need to be doing at any given time. So all I've been doing so far is just been doing all of the dailies that have been presented to me. It seems to me like maybe rep is probably the thing that will time gate us, air quotes.
Yeah, the main leader of the archivists has a bunch of things you can use your materials to buy, but as of yet, we can only buy Corthian Grommet, who's your friend. A single item of 4 pages.
Yeah, but like speaking of like currencies that you trade to him, that's another thing with new patch, like, and then we got like what 5 new types of currencies, and I don't know what's happening as I am every new patch drop.
My least favorite thing is trying to figure out which currency goes into my bags or goes into my inventory, like my currency inventory, or doesn't exist in either of those and ethereally exists in the in-betweens for some fucking reason. Why do those currencies exist? That's stupid.
Listen, it's just on par with the theming of Corthia. You know, Corthia is from being hidden in the in-between, so these currencies are also hidden in between.
Cave Boy does sell one good thing, though. A second thing that you can pick up. It shows you enemies that have relics inside of them. Relics is one of the new currencies because they're all about information. They want to soak up all the info they can get. And so you give them relics as currency. And I bought this thing from them on my main. And enemies are now outlined in purple if they carry with inside of their bodies these relics. And I kill them. And I pull the relics out of their corpse. And I go, here, Cave Boy.
Is it a permanent thing or is it like a charge thing?
It's permanent. And not only is it permanent, it's permanent for you and your alts. Because I put Alan through the ringer, and he was already seeing enemies outlined in purple. It only costs like 100 research, I think. It's very cheap.
Well, you mentioned Alan, so I must ask, what is the current honkometer?
The honkometer is being a druid main and having a Death Knight alt that I keep a parity so I can do double the shit for some reason.
Just for the love of the craft. You're like, I'm not even trying to get Alan like on an alt team. I just want to do everything twice.
I really want to play Alan, but his renown when I started was level 5, and he has no anima, he has no souls, he has no buildings. So realistically, how is this guy going to be a main? You know what I mean? He's missing like all the shit.
As far as renown, I saw people like, at the beginning of the day I had 2, then I finished with 38. So people are finding ways to boost them somehow.
Yeah, basically they throw anima at you as well. I've noticed that like every other quest so far in Corthia has given me like 500 anima. And I don't know if that's just because I'm on my main and have like the main research tier unlocked, or if that also is like that on alts.
Okay, so I can speak to this a little bit. So for Renown, they did change it. So before Renown 40, or up to Renown 40, everything that had a chance to give Renown, now guaranteed will give you Renown up to Renown 40. And then for Anima, for me on Alan, he was getting 250 nodes that my Druid was getting because they weren't world quests. I think that the Anima Conductor stuff only affects world quests.
Okay, so it seems like they also have kind of like thrown in a little bit of a soft anima catch up as well with these quests in Corthia.
I guess in reality, if I really wanted Alan to be my main, I would have just played on him at the very beginning and then nothing on my Druid and I honestly may have had a lot of renown by now. But he's gained 4 renown since then because I'm doing 2 characters like a goddamn fool.
You'll have time to like have things even out if you want.
But then the Maw has also received fucking upgrades, and the Maw honestly feels really, really good to go through right now.
Except
because-
for Perdition Hold. That's still
I haven't been there.
stinky. I mean, I went there to do like a quest for the weekly, like do 100% of helping out. And just even being in there just ground my gears. It is so unnecessarily packed and rude there.
Yeah, it always has been like that. All my homies hate the Perd Hold.
Behold.
But yeah, I was about to say though, I also haven't been to Perdition Hold yet, but in general the Maw feels a little better. Part of it is because we are no longer Maw walkers, we're Maw riders now, baby.
Girl, you is now.
Yeah, you is now, you slow ass. You know what? This is going to be my top 2. It's not going to be now. It was going to be that I don't have to carry around his ass on my back anymore. I can put away the travel form mount and pull out the regular fast mount and just glide my way to safety as you ride your little Gargans or whatever you're fucking riding.
But I do agree. You can go around more. I feel like I'm able to fight stuff more. Maybe that's just a placebo, but I'm like, this isn't so bad to be here. And they've even given you new things to do in the form of Covenant assaults.
Which are pretty cool. So far we've only, as of like recording this, I assume when it comes out there'll probably be another one, but we've only encountered the Ardenweald one, which it feels to me a little bit like Legion assault in some ways. You like do quests with these, in this case, Ardenweald people, which are like all of the main Covenant people, where you attack like the forces of the Maw, and then when you're done, you have like this additional like kind of like scenario type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, but like, it's not instance, right? It's like everyone can access it.
Yeah, it's everyone can. Well, I only did it by myself, but I didn't have to like go into a loading screen or anything.
Yeah, and just not having the Eye of the Jailer, because that is purge as shit, just makes being there and doing content so much easier. What would always happen to me is I'm in war mode, obviously. So we get 4 out of the 5 of my tier eyes finished, and the last tier, all of a sudden, Horde appear, and they start fighting me. And I'm like, great, I gotta fight you, and the angel picking me up, and the dude stabbing me from the back, and like all the other stupid tiers that appeared. Thank God that Eyeball's fucking finished with.
Yeah, which I guess we can just quickly breeze over that right now. Like we alluded to it, but like there also is a quest line that is kind of like running concurrently with Korthian stuff, where you work with Odin's Valkyr to kind of go into Helya's domain, a portion of the Maw.
Yo, I popped for this shit because I knew it had to be coming. Right, I knew we were gonna see Odin. I knew his eyeballs is the fucking Jailer's eye. But going to Halls of Valor and just being, and then just being in Helya's domain, I was like, shit is getting real, and we are really pulling cross-reference shit right now.
Yeah, so Helya is in the portion of the Maw. We mentioned it in last episode, and they threw the word around during this questing experience, but I have already forgot what it was called.
It's called like Demastria or something like that.
Yeah, some stupid Demonstria.
Something like that. I don't know.
It's got to be some old Greek term that they use to make it like Mawified, because it seems too awkward to say for no reason.
Yeah, but basically you go down there and see that Helya has been like capturing Odin's Valkyr and killing them and using them to resurrect Sylvanas' like Mossworn type Valkyr.
She's just reclaiming her Valkyr as her own, because she made all those Valkyr, so she knows these people personally, and she's basically converting them back to her mind control, and then disposing of the ones that she has no use for, basically, which is really fucked if you think about it. Those are her babies.
Yeah, and like the fucked part of it is the fact that like Odin's a fucker, like more so than Helya in a lot of ways.
Men.
But you team up with his Valkyr, particularly Danica Sue Patrick, Miss Indie Japan 300 herself, and you use the dust of fallen enemies and things like that to craft the Iskerhorn.
Are those real stats?
That was her name, and her victory in the 2008 Indy Japan 300 is the only win by a woman in the IndyCar series.
Damn, Danica, fucking pop off, bitch.
And also, she's made of gold and willing to throw spears at the eye of the jailer, which you help her and her girls do.
And we do a great job doing it. Also, can I say that Danica's Valheim accent voiced has gotta be like my favorite Valheim accent voice. It's such a distinct dialect. I love it.
She goes all in on it. I feel like sometimes that accent, when we've heard it in WoW, it's kind of a little half-assed. Danica, no, she goes in.
It's because she was practicing. Legion was, 4 years ago? She was like, I've been holding it in.
Every word just sounds so weird.
I appreciate it, though.
No, it's great. It's really good. But you go to Halls of Valor to visit with everybody, talk to Odin, you talk to Danica, and Odin, he says, Danica, I appoint you as the Wrath of Odin, in a very much similar way that Elune makes someone the Night Warrior in her name. Odin made somebody the Wrath of Odin, and she gained the title Wrath of Odin and bestowed his power into her. And I was like, interesting.
I didn't think about it like that. So, if that's the case, then like Elune maybe has a Hall of Order somewhere as well with her moon peoples.
I would love that.
Do you think they all have funny hinger-dinger accents too?
No, they're very regular people. They're
Come
just very
here,
normal.
my child, Taronde. Hello, Tarundi. It's we're a big fan of you.
It is us, the Lost Vikings. Well, oh my god.
We got turned into squirrels and badgers and stuff.
I forgot to highlight the biggest fucking chains they made in the Halls of Valor area. If you try to go up the bridge, they put up fences, actual invisible barriers on the bridge to Halls of Valor, so you cannot fall off the edge anymore. So I highly recommend trying it. Just go for it and see what happens.
Hey, listen, I gave this to you last episode. Don't fucking push it.
You will fall.
No, push off the edge. You'll be fine. It'll bounce you back on.
Ugh, so done with you.
One of my favorite quests, though, that Odin or Danica had you do in the Halls of Valor was, it was like, okay, champion, I need you to beat up one of 3 of my Valkyr for me. And you go into the arena and you and 85 of your teammates beat up this one Valkyr.
No,
and I'm like,
but can we talk about the fact that, okay, so yeah, it's you and a million guys. So you have to kill 3 of them. One person flies down and we instantly kill them. It's like, you're doing great. Then we kill the second one. It's like 2 of 3. And then we kill the third one. And Odin was like, you bring shame to us. Somehow we lost? I was like,
no,
what?
I think he was saying that the Valkyr brought shame to him and them.
No, but it didn't count. It didn't count for
wait,
us.
what? Yours was bugged or something?
I had to kill 4 of them.
Wait, whoa. Are you telling me that somehow you lost a 1 on 96 handicap match and you were the 96?
Odin treated us like we died, but no one got hit. This thing instantly exploded.
Maybe the first person to tag it was a recently dinged 60 and they were really undergeared and they literally got one shot by the Valkyrie and died.
I think he, as a wrestling promoter, felt bad that 2 of his main stars jobbed to you guys, and he was like, you know what? The minute somebody attacks my 3rd Valkyr, ring the bell. We're gonna DQ the 96 people that beat them and say that they lost to shame them, because I've lost so much today, I want to feel good.
I feel like that is definitely something Odin would do. But also, does that make Odin the Vince McMahon of WoW?
100% Odin is the Vince McMahon of WoW.
If Vince could pluck out his eye to look at the underworld, he would in an instant.
If Vince could pluck out his eye to just see Hulk Hogan's pecs in its prime one more time, he would do it 100%.
I make Hunter wear my eyeball as a brooch, so I know what's going on at all times.
Does that make Helia Steph?
Absolutely. Helia's actually Shane, because Vince has to unchain a lot.
No, this makes a lot of sense, actually.
She's in charge of WWE Underground.
Oh yeah, like the zone that we cannot remember the name of, that's actually just raw underground like Fight Club shit that like will get canceled in like half a season from now.
Oh, I'm sorry, all you non-wrestling fans, but I am eating this up, my own content. Odin is Vince. I love this analogy. Really great, really good. Anyway, the moral of the story is we do all this questing, we take Danica and her crew, and we blind the eye that prevents us from living in the mall and just doing what we want to do down there. Except Aaron almost fucked it up for Adorno.
Okay, so there's a weekly where you have to do like 100% of things, and you get percentage by killing maw bosses, achieving things, doing things in Korthia. And I had 98%. So while we were casually talking, I went and killed a boss and got my 100. But what I had forgotten, and granted, he did warn me, he warned all of us ahead of time, was that Adorno was at like 4.9 out of 5 for Eye of the Jailer. Any other trouble he got into, he was going to get instantly killed.
Yeah, and we purposely joined him in the maw to help him finish this quest line so that we could then do Torghast together, because there's a quest at the end of it that tells you to go into Torghast.
And Aaron decides, I'm going to kill Odekirk because I need this shit. And Adorno hits 5, I, the jailer. His stacks begin to build, and it's a race against time to get him to the final quest before he gets absolutely obliterated by the jailer.
Which we were worried, too, because like the three of us had to fight the Eye of the Jailer, like little mini boss scenario, and it was hard. It must have been bugged for us or something, but it took a while.
Yeah.
And I was worried that like if Adorno had to do that on rank 5, he would die.
Yes, please let us know if you took a while to kill the eye with the spears, because it took me an obscene amount of time.
Yeah, when I say a while, it took me 10 minutes of just hitting it, just attacking, before Danica Patrick and her girls started throwing down spears.
And then
Meanwhile,
Adorno,
Adorno did it, and it took him 1 minute. Like, he phased out, and he phased back, and he's like, I'm done. And we're like, you're done?
What? I didn't believe it. I was like, no, you're not. You have to go back in. And he's like, no, I'm in, like, Orbos not. I'm like, what?
Yeah, something must have been buggy, like patch day shit, I don't know.
Who knows?
So, after / I guess technically concurrently with doing the Eye of the Jailer scenario, you also have this questline going on in Korthia where there is a lost fate scribe that you're trying to find, which I don't know all of these Korthian titles. There's so many different titles. All of them have like weird names that I have not committed to memory yet. But basically, this one seems really important, and he's missing, and you are going about trying to find him. And there is this other Korthian, air quotes, that you come across, and she's like, "Help me try to find him, champion."
And her voice sounds totally non-suspicious the entire time you talk to her.
Not at all. She's got a lot of like growls. She's got a lot of like smoothness to her voice, but that's just what they sound like.
And I love this because a lot of players that play WoW play with the sound completely off, so they can watch like Netflix or YouTube, and people will play
Or Harry
new
Potter and the
patches.
Sorcerer's Stone.
Excuse me, when I was doing it, it was Chamber of Secrets. I moved on from that one. And it's like, if you had your sound off, Honors, you would not have heard the intone of how evil this person sounded.
Also, for the
I
record,
don't know what you mean. She seemed like a nice person as of yet in this retelling.
okay, first off, I will say she's never seemed as a nice person. She basically insulted you, looting literally every single thing along the quest. She's like, ugh, put that trash away. All you do is go run around picking up trash.
Listen, she's not wrong, though. She is kind of right. We do pick up a lot of trash.
I picked her up for the
Yeah, and
quest.
then we vendor it.
Ooh, ooh.
But anyways, what I was going to say is, Slide does play with the sound on. He plays with the sound on, listening to music on Spotify, watching the Sorcerer's Stone / Chamber of Secrets, all on full volume at the same time.
That's just a lot of media, Slide.
Now listen, you take an edible, and you can sort out perfectly the tracks in your mind of which audio is playing. If I could find a 5th audio to add, I would add a 5th audio, and I can get them all processed perfectly.
You just have like TikTok running on your desk on your phone.
Can you do that? Oh my god, I would so do
You
that.
could just have Immune just like playing an instrument. Immune, learn how to like play the cello and just do it in the room.
Cello.
Chiller.
Okay, wait, back to this totally innocent, nondescript professor lady. What are they called? Archivists? No, that's not right.
Archivists, correct?
I think.
So I think that's a title. Some of them are called archivists. I don't know. What is this like race of people called? I don't know.
They're a race of people you want to define
Whoa,
under
you're
one
bringing
title and
race
one
into this
umbrella.
one?
It's Pride Month. Well, it is as of recording.
Yes, Pride Month has a whole less than 2 hours remaining, and then all the rainbows are gone, and AT&T doesn't care about your rights till next year.
Fuck you, AT&T.
Well, anyways, you do this quest line with her where you're basically trying to track down the Fate Scribe, and eventually you realize that, I guess, you track down that he has been creating an illusion to hide himself, and you collect these artifacts in order to break through the illusion, and you and your companion, like, she comes with you into this cave, and she's like, Champion, Mawalker, use the artifact and break this enchantment that he's using to hide himself behind this illusion. First off, I was like, what illusion are they really talking about? I didn't really understand, to be honest.
Okay, so my first playthrough of this quest, I was like, you know what? As much as I joked about how much this person sounded evil, I was like, this is a really aggressive Fate Scriber, or whatever they're called. Why are they being so mean to me? Like, I'm helping your people out. Like, I did not know that they were a bad guy until the very end of the quest. And so I dispelled the illusion, and the guy's like, oh God, they found me. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm here to help you. Like, literally, like, in my head, I was like, yeah, like, let's go. I'm helping you. And then she turned to a Nathrezim, and I was like, oh my God, what did I fucking do? Like, I was literally shocked.
You're like, I can never blame Stormwind City ever again.
Like, I obviously was not sober doing that quest line, but I was still like, no. And then she fucking put me to sleep. I kind of don't like that the Nathrezim's first trick is to fucking roofie you and put you to sleep. That's so deceptive and rude.
No, I'm pretty sure she didn't, though. She, like, put you in chains, I think.
I had Z's over my head, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I
guess it could be both.
She didn't plan to do much with you because as soon as she drugs you. She's like, Bruiser, my favorite Nathrezim friend. Beat him up. And he's like, okay, boss.
It gave me very much Star Wars Fallen Order vibes. In Fallen Order, there's this lady Darth Maul who's like, men Darth Maul, kill this guy. And I'm like, I gotta fight Darth Maul? And then, like, I take his head off immediately. And I was like, oh, it was the exact same with this dude Nathrezim. He was probably the most jobber Nathrezim you ever have faced in the WoW universe.
Slide literally pressed the convoke button and then continued watching Harry Potter.
He died.
I combusted and hit him with 2 phoenixes and a pyroblast, and that was it. He was like, oh no! Maybe that's why no one got mad at him.
It took me a little longer.
Maybe that's why no one got mad at him, is they just like, he wasn't very sneaky, but they're like, oh, that's just Bruiser. We know he's harmless.
But they did get away with the Fate Scribe. She basically told us her plan. She's like, I'm going to take him to Torghast. So basically we know he's in Torghast, and then we have to go back to Bolvar at, what is the new hub in Korthia called? Something's Respite or something like that.
I believe it is called Keeper's Respite.
Yeah, so we go back to Keeper's Respite and we tell him, and he's like, oh no, the Nathrezim are here. We need to tell the other Covenants to watch out. And then I think that is where we are currently.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
There's so many quests that like are important, but they end like the Lodestar staff. It's like, we've created the staff. We'll find something to do with it eventually.
I love how that quest line for the staff made me sad that person died. But again, the fact that I can't tell you that person's name because their names are so bizarre, I don't remember what her name was. Like,
and it doesn't help that she threw out like 8 of them. It's like Archivist Sinblor, Archivist Sin Snore, Archivist Snorbalor, and Archivist Schnimbleblor. And it's like, no, Schnimbleblor, you can't die.
Even though obviously she was like standing in the ring with all of them, and then she names herself last, I was like, oh, okay, she's dying.
It's like the 7, like Hate Rail, Anger Rail, Seethe Rail, but the opposite, because I don't know what the other ones' names are. I will never forget Dope Rail or Hate Rail or any of those, but I love all of them. Torasa, Satora, Ra, Tara. What are their names?
Rah, rah, like a dungeon dragon.
Ra-ta-ta.
Ra-ta-ta-ta.
So basically, the moral of the story. Trio. No, it's Dig. Oh wait, what is it?
Diggle it.
Trio.
Trio.
Dig a dig, dig a dig. Trio. That's what it is.
Bell
Anyway.
sprout, bell sprout.
Vile plume.
Vileplume.
What are we doing? What is this?
Pokemon voices, apparently.
But Corthia, explore the shit out of that and talk to Cave Boy. I don't know what his name is again, but he's in the cave and he has shit to sell you that is helpful in Corthia.
Also, right outside the cave, during the questline part, but not currently apparently, there is this deer or stag from Ardenweald that you can click on, and then he's like, and you can be like, show me a trick. And then he like steps away and does like a little shimmy and then like a jump, and then he's like, I did a trick.
Yeah, he does like a mount special and it's like, watch me do this trick. Also, why is that person even there? Why did they give you a voice? It's such a weird thing.
He's not there currently though, so I don't know where he went.
He did his trick and he's done. He's heading home.
The first person to see it, that's it. He leaves.
But ultimately, Corthia, explore it, take a look, and you got that from me. But
Yep.
do.
Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom. Obviously, we have a lot more to say, but this is already running longer than usual. I got so much to say about Torghast and just like other shit. But that was a quick synopsis of what the fuck's going on and where we are and how next week's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be even more of this shit.
We also never got to finish our DNR book club, but someday we will, because we said we were gonna.
Soon.
But I guess it's time for us to head on into our top two to bottom boot or medium boot of the week. Aaron, what do you got?
This week for my top toot, I have become an uncle. We are in Cubby Bub's ancestral home because we are visiting her sister-in-law who just had her first child. I have been growing my mustache out for just this occasion.
Hooray!
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Anyway, Slidewhistle, what is your TTBBMM?
My top toot is we got 9.1 updates, baby. But other than that, I love how many mounts they've added to our shit right now. I've already gotten one. I've gotten this beautiful golden dead horse from the Fallen Steed in Torghast, which has rares now that spawn. Beautiful. But part of my top toot is that Adorno got the fucking hand mount from a boss in Torghast already. And I'm like, this means I can obtain this mount soon if I get lucky enough.
I think he soft implied that he wasn't going to use it because he's going to be running wild, though.
Yes, he did make a running wild joke.
Adorno, I support your running wild. It's the hand mount. In day one, you gotta flex that.
100. Oh my god, people, if you get on that hand mount like immediately, people are gonna be like, how'd you get that? And you are the talk of the town. That's almost as cool as my Dark Portal Hearthstone. I don't know if you guys heard about this or not, but I do have a toy that's a Dark Portal Hearthstone.
I actually have never heard of that before.
No way.
Much like how I have never heard that Calyx/Calicos is a half human, half elf.
His long blue hair purposely hides his shameful pointy elf ears. I stand by that. What about you, Mean? What's your top two, bottom boot, medium moot?
I feel like it would be fucking disrespectful to do anything besides our top two this week, baby, because, you know, after being so content starved, we are here in the beginning of 9.1 with so much to do. And you know your boy Immune just like very quickly just like tried to get through all these quests as possible. But now I'm also like, oh my god, all these things I can explore in Corthia, and then also just like all these things that like just quality of life things or random things that they've added to the game in general. Like, don't forget to go to Stormwind and get your glasses, guys. Or I guess Orgrimmar if you're a dirty horde.
Yeah, and wear them on your hopefully non-lupine head.
Yeah, it doesn't look the best on Worgen.
They don't look so good on me, but I'm proud to have them.
They look a little better on Draenei. They look really good on Night Elf. Like, all of them look good on you, Slide.
The idea of orcs wearing eyeglasses is really fucking goofy to me. You know Ben Franklin would not be on the Horde side, a creator of the bifocal glasses. So why the fuck can these dirty monsters wear eyeglasses? Fuck that.
Is Ben Franklin a bifocal icon?
He is a bifocal icon. He's the bifocal icon.
No one would believe you. Did you guys see that?
What?
It was some fucking company put out like we made couches based on the different sexualities, and the bisexual one features a pillow that says "No one believes you."
What? Wait, what?
And the designer was like, "Oh, it's based on a bisexual poem I read," but it's like everyone's just like, "Can you imagine coming home to your gay couch and your thing that says "No one believes you"?"
Oh my god, I just found it. It's IKEA! No, IKEA!
Oh my god, but on that note, Slide, get us out of here.
If you have any... Wow, these are really cool couches. Can we buy some of these? Okay, anyway. If you have any comments, questions, complaints, if you want to send a review or tell us how your experience on day 1 was of 9.1, send us an email at donotRelentPod@gmail.com. or tweeted us on Twitter at Do Not Relent Pod. What about you guys? Where can I find you on the internet?
You can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex, or you could follow the podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent. You can follow me on Twitch, where I will be streaming whenever I fucking feel like it, at Immunization DNR.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at thebigacheesy on twitter.com. You can read our literary musings at donotrelent.livejournal.com. And you can follow me on Twitch. I'll stream whenever you fucking feel like it. Wink. At twitch.tv/AaronDNR.
Aaron, I feel like you streaming now.
Oh, shit.
You can also leave us a review on Warcraft Radio or Apple iTunes, whatever it's called now, or follow us on Spotify. And don't forget that somehow Bill Cosby got out of jail. Fuck that. That's bullshit.
Don't worry, everyone. It's not because he's not guilty. It's because of a technicality in the court system. It's because he already owed up to drugging like 3 women. So they're like, well, we can't get you for drugging 4 more.
Listen, if you're rich, you can hire an army to do whatever you'd like. Man. Anyway, we're out of here with that. Enjoy 9.1. We're going to have a fuck ton of more information next week. See you guys then. And remember,
Another down. Do not relent.
Do Not Relent is a podcast from the 3HNC Network, representing U.S. Broadcasters' premier podcast.
That was a very good wish.